Okay, YouTube, this is going to be my video on the new era of wrestling in WWE, the new era of Raw, my criticism of the new era, things I liked about it, but mostly things I didn't like, obviously. I guess that's kind of my niche, to sort of complain about shit. And it's going to be about some things, this and that, and some stuff. Anyways, basically, I'm going to start off this video, and maybe this isn't really where I want to start it, but what the hell, by kind of alluding to or comparing it to something Marilyn Manson said in an interview about himself. And that was when he said Marilyn Manson isn't this, and it's in a video, by the way, called Heavy, the Story of Metal. It's a part about him in it, one of the better videos I've seen on him. Very interesting. But the point I'm getting at here is this. He says that, you know, it's not just the songs, it's not just the music, it's the performance, it's the stage show, and, you know, other things, what he's about, who he is, the videos, the imagery, all that together adds up to what Marilyn Manson is, or to the experience of what Marilyn Manson is. Okay, right? Well, now in the case of music, that's not always the case. You don't always have to have a huge stage show. In the case of grunge bands, I'm a big fan of grunge music, for example. Someone like Nirvana, Kurt Cobain, he was not huge in terms of stage shows. You didn't have the over-the-top, over-elaborate, over-produced theatrics you did in the 80s and in the years before grunge and so forth. But here's the thing. Grunge isn't fucking wrestling, and wrestling isn't music. Okay? Motherfucking wrestlers don't walk out and talk about world peace, right? No, they don't. What wrestling is pretty much a fucking performance. It's a stage show. It's an experience. They're trying to really interest people and make people interested in the product and what they're doing. That is it not what this is supposed to be? That's fucking professional wrestling, right? Then I don't see how, and that's the thing. Wrestling really perfected that in the Attitude Era. That's what they did. They had perfected what it is. Now, obviously, and I was going to say a comment on YouTube, but I'll just say it in this video. Wrestling, obviously not every wrestling company, you know, had women wrestling in mud matches and someone hitting someone else in the nuts with a riffle ball bat. But one thing it always did have, I don't give a damn what company you're talking about, at what period in history, it had stories, it had personalities, that is to say larger than life personalities, characters, basically television characters on a television show, again, not a sport. Sports don't do that. Characters, and it had trash talking, that's the other thing it had, even Jim Cornette, and this is more important, Jim Cornette couldn't be more different from Vince Russo, probably couldn't be more different from me and my worldview or what I would want wrestling to be like. Am I not correct? Jim Cornette says trash talk. You know, he has always called for more trash talking in wrestling. He says that's what he doesn't like about UFC, there's not enough trash talk. Well, that's because UFC is a fucking sport. It's not the Jerry Springer show. Of course you're going to have trash talk in wrestling, and that's what you need more of. That's what wrestling is. And they had perfected that in the Attitude Era. Then, like, some idiot, you know, who kind of fucks around under the hood of his car, and eventually, you know, the motherfucker ain't working no more. Your car doesn't work anymore. You know, I've done that with things. I'll be working on something and I fuck it up, you know, I'm sure, you know. As a kid, I probably broke a lot of shit doing that. It happens. Well, that is what pro wrestling has done. They have tinkered around and fucked around under the hood of the car that is professional wrestling to the point where no one gives a shit, and they have lost 7 million people. Okay? They have went below the 2-point-something rating WWE, the largest wrestling promotion in the world. So, below 3 million into 2 million and some people, that is all the wrestling fans there are really right now in the world. That is who's watching pro wrestling. I never would have thought there would have been a day, honestly, where it would have got below about 3-something in the Ruthless Aggression era, even earlier in the PG era, 2010, for example. I never thought wrestling could get so fucking minute. I never thought it was possible that something could be so fucking minute or low or fucking minute or pathetic to draw below a 3-point fucking rating. Holy shit, was I fucking wrong. Here we are at 2-point fucking 1 every week. And it's because they have changed. They have fundamentally changed on an epic level what professional wrestling is. They have changed it. They have taken a fucking sport that 7 million fucking people used to love and used to watch and used to fucking go and see live every fucking week for fucking decades and spent millions of dollars on. Okay, me personally, I have spent millions of fucking dollars on professional wrestling companies, and they have taken that fucking sport and they have wiped their fucking asses with it and made it into shit. Finn Balor is a great example of what the fuck I'm talking about. Let's just start with him. There they had a guy who got over, and one huge part of the reason he got over, even with the internet wrestling community, these are not casuals. These are not necessarily Attitude Era fans like me. These are the people that want to see the matches, and they will go to pay to see the matches live. They like the wrestling. They like the wrestling. Even those fucking people, even they, largely got over with him, or they started to like him because of the fucking entrance, because of his fucking entrance. He came out with the dragon paint, the fucking fake dreadlocks, and the damn, one point he was wearing a top hat, and he had the goddamn, all the demon paint, and the face paint, and he had like 2 heads on him, and it was fucking cool looking. You know, why the hell he didn't just fucking grow dreadlocks, I have no clue, but he did that. He did this. And it worked. It worked. Then what do they do before he goes to WWE? For unexplicable reasons, I don't know. They take the fucking entrance from him. The best part of the damn show. The best part of his fucking act. One of the better things about NXT. The one reason anyone would see him and give a shit was his entrance, and they took it. Why? Some people have said, no, they're just saving it for the pay-per-views. No, I doubt that. Or if so, it would certainly be a change. Because from my understanding, the last couple of months he was on NXT, they took it from him. He didn't wrestle at any event as that character, or he did not use that entrance then when he was on NXT. So I don't see why he would be using it now. And that's a real shame, because this is certainly tailor-made for fucking WrestleMania. That is fucking like a tailor-made suit to a fucking, handsome guy, in the sense that, this is motherfucking WrestleMania material, and they took it from him. But that's basically my opinion. And again, even if he is only going to save it for the pay-per-view, why? Why not use that on your debut on Raw? Again, not maybe every Raw, but on the debut. I actually think it's good he doesn't have face paint all the time. I think he should always have face paint. But at least one time when he debuts on the damn show. But they took that from him. They didn't give it to him. And it's stupid. And then you have Sasha Banks. What more can I say there? Road Warrior Animal doesn't like Sasha Banks. He thinks she's being driven down a throat. Well, duh. The entire damn fucking Divas Revolution was. And that's why she's really the only one relevant left, other than Bayley, who's not on the main roster. And I don't even feel like getting into Bayley. Everyone knows how I feel about kind of really overly feminine women, too feminine. I can't stand them. AJ Lee, it's not my thing. But again, fucking Sasha Banks. Yeah, what is her character? She's a boss. That's a feminist reference, by the way. That was Beyonce. They wanted to ban the word bossy because all these bossy women didn't like people calling them out on their shit. Stephanie McMahon's bossy. She slaps people. Sasha Banks, by the way, slapped Jericho last Monday night, but the way they did it, I didn't have a problem with, but whatever. And of course, he's against that because he's fucking Road Warrior Hulk. Animal, whatever he is, Warrior Animal, I'm sorry. He comes to the ring, he's got spikes, armor, metal, fucking motorcycles, all kinds of shit. And Sunny coming out with a damn cave woman outfit and a fucking little loincloth that you can fucking kind of see up under, and she's hot. And, that was his thing. And it's, oh, what a rush, He's not into fucking Sasha Banks. And then people are like, well, he's outdated. No, he's not outdated. That's what works in wrestling. Sasha Banks, Finn Balor, Sami Zayn, especially Sami Zayn, and fucking Adrian Neville are, for examples, the best examples of what is wrong with wrestling and what doesn't work and why the new era will fail if they do not begin to critique, change, and edit the era and make it more interesting. And that's it. P666.